Welcome. If you are reading this story, stop for a moment and ask yourself one question. What if an intelligence file existed about you, and it knew things you never told anyone? This is not a legend. This is not a myth. This is the confession of a man who worked in intelligence for 12 years and discovered that some secrets are alive, watching, and waiting to be read. My name is Elias Cade. I was an intelligence analyst, trained to find patterns in chaos. I read classified reports for a living: terror cells, disappearances, black operations erased from history. Nothing scared me. Fear is a weakness in my line of work. That changed the night I opened a file that didn't exist in any database. A file with no code, no author, only a title, subject, Elias Cade. I assumed it was a psychological test. Intelligence agencies love tests. I clicked it anyway. The first line made my breath stop. You are reading this at 2:17 a.m. alone, with the lights off. I checked the clock. 2:17 a.m. The lights were off. I laughed, nervous, forced. Someone was messing with me. That's what I told myself. I was wrong. The file continued. It described my apartment, the crack in the ceiling, the sound my radiator makes at night, even the scar on my left wrist, something I never reported. I minimized the window, heart pounding. When I tried to reopen it, the file had moved, not closed, moved. It was now open on my second monitor, as if it wanted my full attention. At the bottom of the page was a warning: if you stop reading, we will continue without you. That sentence changed everything. I wasn't being monitored. I was being documented in real time. I scrolled down, hands shaking. A new paragraph appeared by itself, letters typing slowly, deliberately, like someone breathing behind my neck. Tomorrow, you will remember a mission you were told never happened. I froze. There was one mission classified beyond clearance, wiped from memory by orders and silence. We were sent to retrieve something from an abandoned research site. No official record, no survivors listed. I hadn't thought about it in years. Until that moment, the memories came back like a wound reopening. The site was underground, silent, not abandoned, just emptied in a way that felt intentional. We found a room filled with cabinets, every drawer labeled with names. Thousands of names, not suspects, not agents, ordinary people, some still alive. At the center of the room was a terminal already turned on, waiting. That was the moment I should have walked away. The file on my screen changed again. You saw the archive. You know what we store. I whispered. Who are you? The answer appeared instantly. We are what remains when observation replaces existence. My phone vibrated. A blocked number sent a photo. It was my apartment door, taken from the hallway. Taken seconds ago. I grabbed my gun and checked the door. Nothing. No footsteps. No sound. When I returned to my desk, the file was scrolling by itself, faster now. It listed dates, events from my life, arguments, thoughts I never spoke, regrets buried deep. Then it listed a date that hadn't happened yet. Tomorrow. Status. Pending. I did what any trained agent would do. I ran. I left the apartment, drove to headquarters, demanded answers. Security had no record of the file, no record of my access. Worse, according to their system, I hadn't logged in at all that night. One officer pulled me aside and whispered, "You shouldn't have found it. They don't like being noticed." That was the last thing he ever said to me. The next morning, his desk was empty, his name removed from staff lists. When I asked about him, people looked confused, as if I had invented him. Back at my terminal, the file was waiting. Updated. We don't erase people. We finished documenting them. I understood then. The archive wasn't storing information. It was creating reality by observing it. Once recorded completely, a person no longer needed to exist. The file became the replacement. Perfect, silent, permanent, and my file was nearly complete. Only one section remained unwritten. Cause of disappearance. I tried to destroy it. Firewalls, physical drives, power shutdowns. Nothing worked. The file followed me from screen to screen, device to device. You cannot delete observation, it wrote. Only conclude it. That night, I felt something watching me, not from outside, but from within my own thoughts. The final paragraph began typing itself. Slow, careful. Subject is becoming aware. This is the final stage. I realized the truth too late. Fear wasn't a side effect. It was the trigger. The more I resisted, the more complete the record became. Every reaction filled another line. So I stopped running, stopped fighting, stopped feeling. I sat down and let the file finish. The last sentence appeared. Subject has been fully observed. Physical presence no longer required. The room went silent. No pain, no darkness, just absence. If you're still reading, thank you for staying until the end, because now you understand something important. Files like this don't disappear. They wait, and somewhere, in a system you've never heard of, a new document is being created. Check the title carefully next time you open a file. It might already know your name.